Hey guys, welcome to SRL League, back for another GT3 race series 1.4, 1.5 hour I should say, not 1.4, 1.5 hour at Portimao, Circuit Algarve. This is going to be a banger, let's just say that. So, hopefully, we can have a bit of an interesting race. We got some stats here that I'll just bring up, which could confirm Jenson Randall as the championship winner if this happens. So, if Jenson Randall outscores Sandro Julius by 2 points in this race, he will be crowned GT3 Season 2 SRL champion. So, big pressure on Mr. Jenson Randall today, and I'm sure he'll be coming into this one hoping that he can outscore Sandro by those 2 points and become drivers champion. But I was talking to him earlier, and he does think that he's gonna lose this one because of, well, he's struggling with keeping it on track and, well, in a straight line. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to say the least. The conditions, it doesn't look great. I can't quite see because at the moment we're just zooming into Cameron, but I'll wait for someone to come out so we can see it. It looks like it's foggy, and to me it looks dry. I could be wrong. Someone's coming out. Oh, it's Jenson. Oh, he's just stopped. Oh, it's raining. It's raining. I saw his windscreen wipers going. So it's raining, guys. We've got a wet quali. I don't know what the race is like. I don't think even they do. I don't know if Portimão 2 has that. But yeah, it's going to be absolutely incredible. By the way, I forgot to mention, I'm your host, Reece March. Sadly, Louis Quinlan couldn't commentate today, the usual commentator for GT3, so I apologise about that. Looks like we've got quite a few people coming out, so we've got Dennis coming out, got Jenson coming out now, so yeah, a bit, I don't know what happened with Jenson there. I am going to bring up the stream chat because we are getting some comments, so we'll keep that open throughout the race and oh my god, okay, I can't even see that. We may have to use a bit of on board. Max in the chat, Reece, hi, Rain, happy that I am not racing. Oh, Max, oh, that's a shame, man, that you're not racing. But yeah, it looks really bad. Jenson going massively wide there. This is going to be an absolute banger of a race, especially the massive, like, well, just look at the track. Just look at it. It's so wet. It's Portimao. I mean, how do you think it's going to go? Coming down here is going to be lethal, I can imagine. As I think that was Dennis there, nearly sliding and spinning. So it looks like it's going to be very interesting. Jenson's got a little warning next to his name. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, this is going to be something, to say the least. I'm not a massive pro at spectating and commentating on Project Cars 2, so bear with me as I learn how to change views and stuff. Oh, who was that? I just saw someone fly off there. I think it was a McLaren. Oh, it was... I'm sorry, I forgot who that is. NRG Destructor. I'll have to try and see if I can find out who that is again. But he's got massive damage to the front of his car, so that is a big shame by him. I'm just going to try and confirm his real name as I'm struggling a bit. I think that might be Jim. I could be wrong. Either Jim or Logan. I completely apologise about this. I should have asked first. So I really apologise about that, but it could be Victor, one of them. I completely apologise about that, but yeah, I'll try my best with this. So Dion, I think he started a lap. I think he was just coming through turn 2 there. This turn 3, now come up to turn 4. That puddle there is going to be lethal. You can just see it. I don't know if you can see it on the, like, on board. We'll go on. Actually, yeah. Let's go on board. Not that one. I've been told not to use that one. We'll go roof because you can see a bit better on that one. Oh, look at it. It's so slidey for Dion. Coming up through, down towards Another place where I can imagine there's going to be a massive puddle in the uphill section. Oh, it's tiptoeing. It's literally just tiptoeing around this track here. The puddles are really going to settle on the parts that go downhill and then go back uphill. So, like down there a bit. Maybe down here as well. They're taking different lines here to try and... So this is going to be where a puddle is here, but doesn't look like it's too bad. There's one on the inside there. You can see it better on spectator. Personally, after driving this game, I understand that there is puddles and you cannot see them on cockpit cam. I always run cockpit cam and you can never see them, so it's very interesting to watch this and spectate this to see that, well, you can actually see it on spectating. So around the final corner for Dion, you've really got to be careful in these GT3 cars. F1 easy flat. Obviously we haven't seen them in the wet in F1 cars, but up the hill then, and Dion is going to finish his lap, and he goes... Or was that a star lap? I don't know if he invalidated his lap there. Oh no, never mind. 153.8 for Dion. So that's the quickest time so far. We got Cameron with a 156.4. He's just set that lap. Oh, we got Jensen who's just gone 155.4. Who's that? That is... Okay, again, another person that I do not know the real name of. I apologise. Apologise about that. Epic the Animal. So I massively apologise about that. A few people I should have asked about before starting the stream. But I guess we'll just work with what we got at the moment. So he's going to get a bit of a tow here. He's actually doing really well here. 2 seconds quicker than Dion in second. Oh, that's Jensen. I think that's Jensen up ahead there, sliding out of that corner. That is... It's going to get a bit dirtier here. Oh, this is going to end in tears. I can just imagine it's going to end in tears. They're both trying to set a good lap here. You can just see the spray. We're going to actually go back on trackside because, yeah, we haven't got... We've already had like 2 laps on board. It's very difficult to see on trackside, so I apologise about that, but it's a bit misty and foggy, so it's not great. But I can imagine for the drivers it's 10 times worse, especially if you're running like cockpit cam or something. So we have just under 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes to go. Oh, and there he goes. He spins it. He spins it. To be fair, I don't blame him. This looks very difficult to handle. So we go. Sandro. Obviously, battling for the championship, and he needs to outscore Jensen here. He needs to beat Jensen. So Sandro really... Oh, he's gone wide. That's not going to help his chances whatsoever for Sandro. Coming down towards the left-hander then. A really difficult section here because you've got to try and avoid locking the brakes. As we saw in real life in F1, it's easily done, and Sandro goes a bit wide again, sliding out that corner. Everyone is struggling here so much, so this is going to be an absolute banger of a race, I think, to say the least. I don't know what the conditions are going to be like I said, so yeah, we're just going to have to, well, hope that everyone keeps it clean and tidy no matter what the conditions are. Oh, Sandro just getting a bit of back action there. Back end action. Is he going to go wide? He's taking a bit of a wet line there. Slides out the corner. He's trying to find the traction. He's trying to, you know, find the wet lines and where the best grip is. And it's very difficult to find that in... Well, especially on this track. Especially because there's just such a change in... Well... the track. Like, look at that puddle on the inside. How did that even get there? Like, I don't even know how. But coming around to the final corner then for Sandro, where is this lap going to put him? It's a bit of a scruffy lap, but I think everyone's going to have a bit of scruffy laps in this qualifying session just because of how slippery and slidey it is. So that lap I think is going to keep him P5. It takes a bit of a while to update on Project Cars 2. I saw that with Dion, but it looks like he does stay P5 as of right now. I think he might be going for another one. And that Audi of Neek, I think that is. Okay, no, not the Audi of Neek. There was an Audi there that was sort of in the way. I don't know if he's still got damage and NRG because he's... I know sometimes there's a glitch with Project Cars 2 where it just doesn't fix the damage for spectators, but for him it does, so it's going to be interesting. Someone we haven't talked about yet is Cameron, so... Oh, he's gone completely off track! I don't know if that was... Wait, was that Cameron? Yeah, it was Cameron. He's gone straight off track. I don't know if that was... Oh, he's gone rallying. Yeah, he's gone back into the pits. Yeah, I don't know if that was, like, after a lap, or if it was, like, just general mistake. It could have been a general mistake. We have Dion here then in 4th, so Dion doing very well in the GT3 series recently. Dion's been on top of his game, I would say, recently in F1 and GT3, like, getting really good and consistent results, and usually everyone, you know, makes fun of him for being the guy who always has many penalties, especially in F1, but he's really cutting down on them recently, so fair play to Dion, who's really trying to battle this out. But qualifying is over then. This is it. What is going to happen? Jensen, who's only P2 at the moment, which is interesting to say the least. I will open back up chat because we have got some more people viewing and more comments. Neek Famazepin. How are you, Reece? I'm good, thank you, Max. I'm good, but yeah, Neek struggling a bit here. We're gonna go watch Neek here a bit, and we're gonna go on board. We're not going chase. We'll go roof because we want to see if Neek can improve here. Because at the moment he's P10. He's only about a 10th, or nearly less than a 10th, basically less than a 10th off Dennis. So if he can he's gonna get a bit of a tow here from the person in front of him, I'm not too sure who that is. I can't even see with all the spray, so it's really difficult. Dion is good in GT3. Yeah, Dion is really doing well. Sandra goes P4, by the way, so he needed that. To be fair, he needs to beat Jensen as best as possible in the race, but that at least is close. He's close. Neek, who goes P3, so Neek got a very good lap there. Actually surprised us all, so Neek not for Mazepin now, Max, apparently. Oh, whoa, what happened there? Okay, something happened. We're gonna go trackside. Someone hit Neek there. Is that Sam? Is that Sam? Sam, did you spin Neek? Oh no, Sam. I don't know if that was his AI though. That could be Sam's AI. But Sam, again, another one we haven't mentioned during this qualifying. P5, so very good result for Mr. Samuel Brandt. So nevertheless, we'll go through the grid. Again, sorry about this. Epic the Animal. I don't know your real name. I apologise about that. I should have found out for next. I'll find out for next time, and I have time to read it. But we'll go through it now. So Epic the Animal P1, Jensen Randall in P2, Nick Van Gelder in P3, Dion Stahl in P4, Samuel Brandt P5, Sandra Delius P6, P7. Who's that? Oh, Rennie Van der Stapp P7, Cameron Weston Edwards P8. P9 is Dennis, and P10 NRG, which I want to say is Logan. I apologise if that's wrong, but yeah, that is our lineup. 10 drivers, one winner of 1.5 hour of Portimao. Who will win this then? That is the question. Who predictions, guys? Predictions in this. Who is going to win in Portimao in the GT3 series? I don't want to make any predictions because I've done a bit of commentating before and I know how commentator's curse works because I've done it many times. So yeah, I'm not making any predictions. Nick and me did a 1 hour practice yesterday and he spins 20 times in 30 minutes. That's not good. Jensen win easy. Jensen win. Okay, so we got Max in chat going for Jensen win easy. Jensen was saying he was struggling in practice, spinning a lot, and that was in dry, so now it's in wet. Is this going to change anything? I mean, he still went P2, so I mean, he's got the pace. It depends, has he got the consistency? Because 1.5 hours is a long time for a race to keep it on track 100%. It's going to be a great fun to watch though. And I definitely wouldn't miss this if I were you guys. I would say have we got a bit of a glitch, but I think we're just waiting for people to ready up because I think they had this last week. from what I was watching, so we will just wait. Here we go then. Here we go. Well, Jensen's AI just got a storm of a start there. But yeah, here we go then. Up towards the line. No formation lap. This is it. Who's going to take the win? Epic the Animal will lead them away as they cross the line now. Oh, no, mind. Yep, they did cross the line. And it's go, go, go here in Portimao. They all switch around. Will they all keep it clean into turn 1? Down towards turn 1. Spray everywhere. Jensen trying down the inside and has to back off there because Epic the Animal keeps it nicely. And it looks like it's all clean and tidy there, coming into turn 3 here. Up towards turn 4, very difficult section because that bump is lethal. Absolutely lethal, so you really have to watch out. It looks like everyone's got through cleanly. Nick holds P3, Sam up to P4, so Sam with an incredible start there. And at the back we've got Sandro getting attacked by Rene, so Sandro had not had a best of starts. He's trying to keep within the championship fight. Really trying to push Rene to the limit here to try and get back past. Sandro has lost out a bit there. Cameron again as well, messed out a bit as well. As he's battling at the back with Dennis and Logan, I think that is. Again, I'll apologise. Just so I'm not getting it wrong, I'll call him NRG. Just so I'm not getting it wrong. Oh, a bit of a battle here for P9. Down the inside goes NRG. So yeah, some people getting better starts than others. And look at this, Neek. Neek has got up to P2. So something has happened to Jensen there. And Sam is all over the back of Jensen as well. Could we see Samuel Brandt move up into the podium position? If you can get a good exit out of here. Samuel Brandt, an ex-teammate of mine in F1 and in this series, GT3 series. So Samuel Brandt gets a very nice exit out of the final corner and puts himself up into the podium positions then. But Jensen Randall's not going to let that one go easily. He's going to, well, he sits in the slipstream just at the exit, but now dives into the inside as we get a nice shot down here coming down the straight. We've seen Sandro attack at the back there. Jensen, nevertheless, down the inside, but goes massively wide. So does Sam. Everyone is struggling in this race. It's going to be a massive, massive skill to keep this on track and make it the full 1 hour and 5, well, 1 hour and a half minutes really. 1.5 hours, minutes, whatever. I completely messed that up. But yeah, nevertheless, Samuel Brandt up to P3 very nicely for him. We have Dion, Rene and Sandro going at it here. Dion down the inside. Will he try and make this work? Of his teammates, don't want to collide with your teammate. That's #1 rule in racing. Luckily they don't collide. Rene keeps it. He goes off track a bit there, which hasn't helped his chances, but he's going to sit in the slipstream with his teammate. He's going to get a bit of dirty air through this section here. Not an easy track to follow. Cards on. Shouldn't be as hard as F1 though, so coming down to section. Sandro again, he needs to get past Dion and Rene here, the two McLarens, or else he's going to be in massive jeopardy of not scoring the points he needs to keep in championship contention. Sandro going down the inside of Dion. Oh, he has to back out. Dion closes the door there. Dion doing a great job here in P6 right now. Very difficult. I literally... Oh, Neek's up to P1. Neek is up to P1 with an incredible lead at the moment. I do not know what happened there. I apologise, I messed up my words so much here. This is just so intense. And Sam going at it with his teammate here as well then. Gonna sit in the slipstream. Could we see one Lamborghini overtake another? Samuel Brandt, will he try down the inside? Can we just appreciate Samuel Brandt hasn't got his windscreen wipers on either? That's pretty suicide, but I assume he's running in roof cam or something like that, because there's no way you'll be able to see with copy cam and not windscreen wipers on. So yeah, Neek up to the lead then. Incredible for Neek. Neek, another one, saying he was struggling in practice and actually saying how he was spinning. Even Max was saying in practice he was spinning like 20 times in 30 minutes. So Neek doing very well here, showing his incredible weather pace at Portimao. As we have still, oh, who's this? Cameron Weston Edwards comes in to make a move on Sandro. A bit of contact there. Sandro's not had a great start to this race at the moment, and just to make it worse, I think Cameron's made this move stick very nicely, taking a bit of a wet line there. So incredible move from Cameron, and now he'll be on pursuit of the two McLarens. Obviously Cameron racing in the McLaren in F1, so he's going to be traitoring his team here. Oh, that's Dion, the first spin, I'm pretty sure, of the race, and that is a massive shame for Dion, down to P9 then. Oh, that is a massive shame. He was running so well there, battling his teammate, and sadly the car just got away from him there. But nevertheless, this helps Sandro out a massive amount, because it means... Oh, that's Jensen! That is Jensen. That is exactly what Sandro needed. Jensen has spun first time in the race. That is the biggest thing that has happened, I think, in this race so far. I mean, I can't say that because literally we've had many overtakes, incredible battles. But Jensen has thrown it away a bit here. He's going to have to try and do a comeback. He is known as a bit of a comeback guy, really, because I have seen him a couple times in races, F1 and GT3, spinning first couple laps, but then he just comes back to finish like podium, or at least top 5. So, oh no, he's gone again. Jensen's gone again. Keeps out the gravel. You don't want to beat shit there. That would be absolutely terrible. Jensen down to P9 then. Even Dion, who also spun, is up ahead of him now. So Jensen not having a great race at the moment. Massive shame for Jensen. We also got to talk about Epic the Animal, who's down to P6, and he started pole. So the two front runners in qualifying are actually down to P6 and P9 right now, which is a massive hit in the championship. So Sandro really needs to get the best performance out of this race and best result of this race possible now to try and keep in contention of the championship. I mean, he will keep in contention of the championship if it finishes now, because Jensen needs to outscore Sandro by 2 points, but Sandro really needs to finish the highest he can. So I would say podium position, really. He needs to finish on the podium to try and really have a chance on Jensen, because if I know Jensen, it's that if he makes a mistake like this in a race like this, he will come back next race bigger and better than ever before. So Sandro really needs to take advantage out of this race, and like I said, podium position, he needs it. But Nick, look at this, absolutely storming, 4.4 second lead right now on Sam. So a bit of a shock podium as of right now. René van der Stapp P3, Samuel Brandt P2, and Nick van Gelder in P1. So just incredible stuff from this race in Portimao right now. I don't want to jinx anything, but oh, what's that? Sam just going wide there, coming back on track. So yeah, this is insane stuff right now. I think the pack is starting to split up a bit, but Cameron, actually I'd say that Cameron's right on the back of René van der Stapp, his F1 teammate. So different teams and different car manufacturers in the GT3 series, but teammates in F1. They work really well as a team together actually in the F1 series, so I sure hope they don't ruin each other's race in Portimao in the GT3 series. Nevertheless, Cameron had a look there, but had to nevertheless back off. I think this is the closest battle on track so far. I'm assuming the warnings mean something about penalties, like track steering or something. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that's why it comes up, and that's why Cameron's backed off a bit from René, because he's got a warning for going wide. But yeah, I'll give fair credit to all these drivers having to survive this absolute soaking of a race in Portimao here. Absolutely insane. It always rains in GT3 series SRL races. It's actually quite funny. Especially that in F1 it never rains. It's very rare it rains in SRL F1, so GT3 is known as the rain series, to be honest. But look at this, Cameron Weston-Edwards right on the back of René van der Stappen. Can he try and get a bit of a toe down the start from the straight and maybe make a move? And although René got a very good exit out of that final corner, I don't know where Cameron went wrong there. But we got a bit of a four-way battle here. So, and Dennis ain't too far off either from that. If René carries on holding Cameron and Sandro and Epic the Animal up, then Dennis will soon catch up and be back within this battle for P3. So we've got a mega battle going on right now. René slowly backing off from Sam, so René's kind of helping Sam and Nick out here by holding them up, because they're about 8 seconds off the lead now from Nick. Oh, René sliding there. I thought he was going to lose it, but he keeps it. He manages to keep it very nicely. Sandro's struggling a bit there as well. Epic the Animal really run on the tail of Sandro Dulius, so this is going to be an absolute soaking for the entire race, isn't it? I don't see it clearing up anytime soon, and if it does, I'll be very shocked. Let's just say, I really like that camera angle, by the way. The camera angles off board are like really good on this track, not gonna lie, on this game, so I'll give them credit for that. Oh, Sandro has gone wrong somewhere, because Epic the Animal's actually jumped up past him. They're really avoiding going wide there, because as you saw there, Sandro actually slid a bit on the exit going wide there, so I think there's a puddle there. I think some of them have realised that, because Epic the Animal, who didn't do that, actually got a much better exit. Here we go. Cameron all over the back of René. If he gets a good exit, René seems to always find the better traction there. Oh, but saying that, Cameron, I think, might have just pulled this one off. Oh, they touch. Oh, don't end in tears. Cameron's a lot closer this time. I think he might have a go into turn one. If I know Cameron, he is the last of the late breakers, so I don't think Cameron's going to let this one go easy, even if it is his F1 teammate. He's going to slot him behind, try and get a bit of slipstream. Will he outbrake his F1 teammate? He does outbrake him, but goes wide, doing it. And that means René is going to have a chance to get back, and he does get back ahead of Cameron. This is some insane battling we're seeing right now from René and Cameron. And it looks like Epic the Animal is going to join in with this battle as well. Cameron really holding up René here. Definitely showing that the F1 team mate little friendship is not going to help him in GT3. Down the inside goes Cameron, and I think he's made this one work very nicely. Very nice move from Mr. Cameron Weston-Edwards on the McLaren. So yeah, McLaren actually, like McLaren and Audi, these two cars that Cameron and René are racing in, are known as the high-speed corner cars, I should say. They seem to do very well on the corners, but the straights, they are not good at all. I would say the fastest cars in the straights are the BMW and the Mercedes. I would say, personally, that's my opinion. Maybe the Lamborghini within that. Sandro backing off a bit here from this little three-way fight. Sandro really needs to get involved in this. The Lamborghini checking down the inside of René. Can he try and make the move stick on René quicker than what Cameron did? Cameron and René had been battling for like quite a while. I'd say at least 5 laps of this race, because we're on lap 7 now. Well, these guys are about to start lap 7. Never mind, they're about to start lap 8. Nick started lap 8. Gonna get a bit of a toe. The spray is just insane here. At least it's not foggy. That's one good thing. I hope I haven't jinxed that and it's gonna get foggy a bit later, because that would not be great. I bet the Animal really following René closely. I think we could see a move here from Epic the Animal on René, as René's starting to struggle a little bit. Really, the McLaren team are all rooting for René right now. Dion, they're rooting for Dion as well, but Dion is a bit down the road. Oh, he's got Jensen all over the back of him. Is Jensen going to get around Dion? So this just shows how costly just one spin can cost you, because I mean Jensen's had 2 spins, but Dion's only had 1, and Dion is down in P8. Quite distance away from everyone else and the battles that he was in. He was with like Sandro and Rene and Cameron, so Dion just showing that, you know, one spin could cost you massively. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone has at least one spin in this race, so hopefully that was Dion's one and only spin. But Rene holding up now, Epic the Animal, whilst Cameron sort of pulls away a bit here, so it just shows Cameron did have a bit more pace than Rene. As Epic the Animal going to try and move down here, he looks for it, but realises that's not going to work, but he gets a very good exit out of there compared to Rene. Now he's going to try and go around the outside, try and take a wet line, maybe get a bit of grip. I don't know if there's any grip out there, but Rene really pushing him as much as possible, as wide as possible as you can. Now this is, I don't know if it's as flat in GT3 cars, especially in the wet. I don't think it is. I think I heard a lift off, so... Oh, that's a touch again! That sent Epic the Animal out wide. I think Epic the Animal might slot in the back. Oh, is this Sandro? Is this Sandro absolutely just down the middle? Is it going to be a free... Nope, it's not. He's going to back off. Sandro really took the sensible option there, backing off. Oh, and that's... did he spin? Epic the Animal spun. Sandro up to P5 then. That is a massive shame for Epic the Animal. Like, I can't apologise every time I say his name, but again, I apologise that I do not know his real name. But again, he spins, which is not helped his chances whatsoever. And that puddle there that I could see on Spectator's cam, I don't know if that's actually there for the drivers, because they don't seem to have a problem when driving over it. So, Sandro up to P5 then. Dennis is not too shabby off him though, so Dennis might have a go at him. Oh, he got a bit of a... That was a dodgy exit there. I don't know what happened there. Sandro and P5 has to find out. Why is his position red? Something's happened there. Don't think we have to worry about that, but he's backed off from... I think Sandro may have run into a problem there, because he's about 5 seconds off Rene now, whilst he was like really close. So yeah, Sandro needs to try and catch out on Rene again. Meanwhile, the top three chilling really in these wet soaking conditions. The gap is still about the same from Sam to Nick, running basically the same laps. Oh no! Sam, don't lose it. Oh my god, that was close. I thought Sam had lost it then. I thought that was it. That's cost him 4 seconds, and that has cost him massively to Cameron. Wait, is that... Who's that in third? No, is that a lap car? I think that might be a lap car. I thought that was Cameron then, because that cost him massively if that was... I don't think it is a lap car. That is actually Cameron. That is Cameron. So Cameron is really close to not Jensen, really close to Sam now. Sam going wide there. Sorry, just had to step away from the mic quickly there. So yeah, Cameron, by staying consistent now, who had a bit of a shocker start trying to battle Rene, is suddenly back in play to take P2 here. He's about 3 seconds off Sam. Can Cameron, in that Audi, try and chase down Samuel Wan and maybe even his teammate? Obviously, we had a massively intense finish between Cameron Weston Edwards and Jensen Randall in Nürburgring last week. And basically, it would have finished about 3 thousandths of a second between them, but sadly Cameron had a penalty, so it was about 3 seconds behind. But it was an intense run to the line as they were really battling out for the win. So Cameron looking to try and get that win back now, and really wants to show that he can win here. Well, I mean, he does very well in the F1 series and the GT3 series for that liking as well. He's doing very well here to keep on track. Like I said, the conditions are just so bad. Look at the spray off coming up the hill here. You can just see it because you just see the rear. You can barely see the cars under the spray, so it's very interesting to see that. Sandro just sort of chilling in P5. I think the grid is sort of splitting up a bit here now. Rene just racing his race. Sandro just racing his race too. Down straight. You can see him in viewing. Dennis must have had a problem because he's now dropped off massively from Sandro. Oh, here we go. We've got Dion and Jensen still battling this out. So Dion's held up Jensen very nicely here for quite a while. I know what Jensen's doing. He's just trying to not... He doesn't want to ruin his race completely and be right down in P10. P8 is better than, like, nothing right now. So, I mean, there is nothing actually. I think it's top 6 get points. So, really, he needs to get back into these points, does Jensen. But Dion's doing an incredible job after that first few laps spin. He's caught up to the back of Dennis, so Dennis, that does show Dennis has gone wrong somewhere. Maybe Dion's just found pace, massive pace, and had a bit of a dodgy exit out of that hairpin section, so Jensen might have a run on him down in the inside here. Will he try and make this work? He sort of backs off, but I think he'll have a go here. Sends it down the inside of Dion, and I think that's going to be made a move by Jensen Randall. Up to P7 then, so next is Dennis for a point. Jensen Randall needs to overtake Dennis for one single point here, and this is going to help him out massively. You could see Sandro on the road there, so if Jensen's quick enough, in about an hour, I think he'll catch up. Within an hour and 8 minutes, he'll catch up surely. But he needs to keep consistent and really push on pace, because those two spins really cost him massively. So Jensen's going to be pushing absolutely everything right now. So we've got 2 people watching, 5 likes, so thank you guys so much for checking us out and liking the stream. I'm hoping you're enjoying this race as much as I am. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Like I said, I think this is going to be a soaking for the day. Oh, Sam's making a pit stop. I said Sam's making a pit stop. I don't know if he's already done it and I'm late, or if that's false information. I think that might be false information. But new fast lap by Epic the Animal, 151.1. So that's pretty decent lap. But a second between... Well, about a second between Sam and Cameron. So Cameron has to close the gap more. I don't think Sam has pitted. I think that's false information, that race feed. Just ignore that. Like I said, I'm not too used to commentating Project Cars 2. Oh, Jensen trying to move on Dennis. Down the inside. Will Dennis hold this around the outside? He's going to try to. Down the inside goes Jensen. They're still side by side. Who's going to get the better traction out of the corner? I think it's Jensen there. But I don't think Dennis is going to let this one go. Oh, are they going to keep this? Don't spin the rears. Oh, they collide. Jensen's round. Jensen's round once again. Oh, that's affected him massively once again. Dion has got past him. Oh, Jensen is probably furious under that helmet. What a shame. I cannot believe that, honestly. I thought they were going to make that work. That was an intense battle there. Oh, what a shame. What a shame for Jensen. He's not having the greatest of races at all whatsoever at the moment. I don't know if he picked up damage for that. He'll need to try and... No, if he's got damage, he'll probably pit. Will we see him pit? No, he stays out, so he must have got away from damage here. So that's lucky for him, but I guess also unlucky that he was in that situation in the first place. What a shame. Jensen is a personal friend of mine, and I know he's very quick behind the wheel of a cart in real life racing, in sim racing, F1, Project Cars 2. He is so quick, so to see him making these mistakes is very rare footage. So yeah, that's really not great for him. But like I said, Jensen is a guy that if he's making mistakes in one race, he'll learn from it and come back twice as better the next one. So yeah, I wouldn't say this is the best of Jensen here. Even if he does do an incredible comeback, he'll come back even better in Fuji, which is insane to say the least. I'm hoping I'll also be able to race Fuji, because Fuji is a track that I personally like, especially in the wet. And from last season, I was running very well there until I sadly disconnected. So yeah, that was great. But Jensen starting to catch back up to Dion and Dennis. Meanwhile, Dion and Dennis are still battling. So yeah, these guys really going at it. I don't know what the strategy is here. I don't know if you can go all the way to the end, or if you have to make a mandatory pit stop, or if you just have to make a pit stop anyway. I don't know, honestly. See, those puddles on the inside, who's going to hit them? No one's going to be that far on the inside around that corner. And if they are, then it'll probably be for an overtake, which is very lethal by the looks of it, because that puddle does not look fun. These guys all slipstreaming each other here. Jensen's made progress nicely there, catching back up, so I'll give him credit for that. Don't think anyone's paid yet. Sandra's just sort of running a race of its own right now in P5. 7 seconds off Rene. Rene's doing incredibly well for a guy who's under massive pressure at the beginning of this race from like 5 cars. He's done incredible to only let 1 car through. And also, by the way, I must have missed this, I apologise about this, but Samuel Brandt has been overtaken by Cameron Weston Edwards, so Cameron has made up to P2 then, after really fighting with Rene at the beginning of the race. Who's that? Oh, okay, it's NRG. I thought that was Neek then. I was about to say, Neek, what are you doing? Do not spin. Like, you have a rapid Cameron Weston Edwards behind you, trying to chase you down. Neek, who is a very quick driver, SRL Season 4 F1 champion, also SRL Season 1 GT3 champion, also in that exact same Audi. So he struggled a bit in this Season 2 at the moment in GT3, and he struggled with F1 as well in the past 2 years. Mainly this season, he's really struggled this season. So yeah, he's really trying to make a comeback, and at the moment he's showing that he does still have the pace to win and the skill to win, especially in a soaking wet race like this. Absolutely incredible for Nick Van Gelder as he comes down the hill here towards the hairpin section. He just knows where the grip is. It's absolutely mental. Look at it, no sliding whatsoever there. Gets on the power nicely, no problems whatsoever. And he's doing an incredible job, to say the least. I don't know how he does it, but let's just say if I was in this race, I would have spun about 10 times by now. So don't panic about that. So yeah. So yeah, I just want to come back to Neek also saying about how he was struggling so much in practice, in the dry, and in Portimao. He said the GT3 cars just do not handle very well about Portimao, and everyone was saying that. But for some reason, Neek and other drivers are just handling nicely in the wet conditions, which is just absolutely baffling. I mean, I don't know if like they would do the same in the dry conditions, but like I said, they were all saying they were struggling dry. So who knows? Who knows, really? It's a what if, but we're going to see here in the wet conditions instead, which I think makes it 10 times more better, to be honest. So yeah, Sam keeping a pretty decent gap of about 2 seconds, about that, to Cameron. He's not letting him pull away massively. So Sam really doing well here to just keep the pace nicely as he comes up the hill. We're getting comments here, but I can't read them, and I don't know why. Maybe if I refresh. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. Mazza Spin is winning. Okay, this is meant to be a joke from Max, because he practiced with Neek, and Neek was having massive problems, and was spinning multiple times, and well, right now he's leading, and he's about to lap the guy who got pole position. So Nick absolutely on a flyer right now, just storming ahead on a charge. That's the only word I can really use, really. Just absolutely on a charge right now, keeping the same gap to Cameron. I thought Cameron would start chasing Nick down, not gonna lie, because Cameron had some incredible pace, making it up past Rene and then Sam. But Nick's keeping his cool, keeping consistent pace, doing a great job out there. We've got Dion back here. Oh, I've missed this, but Jensen. Oh no, why do I? Okay, I need to stop going on board with Jensen, because whenever I go on board with Jensen, something happens. I was just about to say I've missed this, but Jensen's caught up to the back of Dion and Dennis and overtook them, and then he went massively wide, tapping the barrier a bit there, so hopefully he didn't pick up damage from that. But Dion trying to move down the inside, backs off of that one from Dennis. Will he try down the inside? No, Dennis holds it. Is it one stop or no stop? I'm not too sure, you see. I'd done no practice because I knew I was going to be commentating, so I'm not too sure, Max, about that. I'm pretty sure the last GT3 race I raced was ages ago, but I'm pretty sure it's a mandatory stop, so it'll probably be a one stop. But I could be wrong. If there's no mandatory stop, then it's a no stop. Oh, there goes Dion. There goes Dion again, spinning onto the grass. Flicked the cone through onto the track there, I think. So that's not great, as he flicks it back around the right way. Will spinning the car on the grass, which is not going to help his chances. Dion, another one who's had a bit of a shocker of a day, to say the least, which is a massive shame. I was just saying about how, like, more consistent and quicker Dion's got recently on F1 and GT3, but now he's here sadly spinning. But I guess everyone has off days. He'll come back better than ever before. That flying cam is sick. Hashtag Dion for win. Yeah, Dion, I mean, it's not impossible. There's 58 minutes left of anything to happen, and Dion's still in, so never say never. Meanwhile, Jensen is going to be trying to chase down his championship rival, Sandro Dulius. The question is will he be able to pick up the position from Sandro? So I think at this situation, Sandro's stayed in 5th the whole time. So I think if he overtakes Sandro, if Jensen overtakes Sandro, I think Jensen needs to get at least 4th to be GT3 Season 2 champion for SRL. I am sad that I wasn't racing. I had the same pace as Nick, and as Nick, sad me. Yeah, Max, honestly a massive shame, bro, that you couldn't race. Honestly, massive shame. I mean, at this point I would have liked to give it a go about around this absolutely soaking wet track, but hopefully I'll be back for Fuji if Louis can commentate. If not, then I'll probably hit the commentary box again, just because I'm in the shout for nothing in the championship. I've got no points, and I'm only really racing for fun, just to really get some experience on GT3 cars, on Project Cars 2. Jensen doing a good job though after making several mistakes this race, just getting consistent pace now and running nicely in P6. He's going to try and chase down Sandro. Sandro's doing what he needs to do at the moment to try and finish P5, and he is catching down Rene. So is Rene making a few mistakes? Well, I mean, I say that, he goes a bit wide there, which isn't going to help his chances whatsoever, and he's got a lap car behind him, so he has just lapped NRG, so NRG's going to have to watch out here. Again, incredible stuff on... I am racing the F1 for fun, and GT3 I want to win a race. Yeah, I mean, I race for fun on both because I have no chance of winning either. But I like to think that if there's a bit of attrition in a race on F1, I'd like to think that I could be in the chance for a podium, like I've shown in Silverstone and before in last season. I think this season it's been my well, I've only done 2 full seasons. Well, this is my 2nd full season, and I'd say this has been like the worst season so far in F1 for me. But I am getting better. I am practicing a lot more with Will and getting more consistent. But Sandro looking like he's the same pace as Rene now, so I think Rene just made a mistake somewhere to drop off, and Cameron has actually pulled out a bit of a gap from Sam of 4 seconds. So yeah, this isn't exactly as Sam wanted this to go. I'm sure he would have wanted to be same pace as Cameron and really fight for that P2. But P3 is still an incredible result for the Lamborghini driver. He just needs to keep going. Obviously, like I said, it's all about just staying consistent, not spinning off the track everywhere. I'd say that puddle nearly destroyed his race there. I was so close to the podium in Abu Dhabi. Yes, it's a massive shame. Do you know what else happened in that race, Max? You also spun me. You also spun me in Abu Dhabi. Nah, it's all good. To be fair, I was trying to defend on those tyres that were just dead. They were dead. There's no chance I was going to be able to defend with you, so... Yeah, again, Abu Dhabi was another one. I had no penalties. I tried to make the one-stop work, and it didn't quite work. And it was interesting, because I got close. I was in the podium for quite a while, but... Yeah, like I said, those tyres were dead, so they weren't working. So yeah, everyone's got a bit of a gap between them now. No battles really going on. I went for a battle to come out on track, really. NRG has some pretty consistent pace and quick pace here, but sadly just those problems he had in the beginning with getting used to the track at those conditions it's just costing the race. Oh, what happened there? Something happened there. Someone disconnected, and I'm not too sure who disconnected. Someone definitely disconnected. Oh, it was Epic Animal. He is out of this race. I don't know what position he was running in. I have no clue what position he was running in, but he is out of this race. I think he was running P9, and now NRG's up to P9, so... Yeah, a massive shame for the pole sitter. In the race he can pull it off and take home a win, but I'm sure he'll come back better next week. Jensen just pushing the absolute limit there. To be fair, Jensen has, I think, the least pressure on him, because he's got a nice gap. Like I said, if... Oh, that was Dennis spinning there. Dion goes around him, had to go off track to avoid him. But Dennis spinning around there on the final corner. That is a massive shame. I can imagine there's a puddle there somewhere for that to happen. Oh damn, those engines though, just listen to that engine down that straight. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. Oh, there goes Dennis, he's going wide, he's hit the gravel. Oh, that's going to end in tears. So end this in the barrier. Oh, he's going to head for the gravel. He's heading for the barrier, and that's I think that might be race over for Dennis. Oh nope, he's going to try and continue. Not gonna lie, I had no clue there was a GT3 Renault. I've been commentating this whole race, and I had no clue that there was a GT3 Renault in this race. And I've spectated Dennis quite a few times. I guess it's hard to see what car it is when it's raining heavily like this, and I don't think we've gone on board with anyone yet this race. So I just find trackside camera quite a bit better than the onboard in the race. I used a bit of onboard on qualifying because it's a bit better, because it's just people just doing laps. But yeah, in the race it's not very useful. Dennis really struggling now. He's just lost all the momentum. Still nothing happening as of right now. Everyone just staying consistent. This is what GT3 is kind of about, really, though. Just staying consistent, staying out of barriers, staying on the track. Even in absolutely soaking wet conditions like this. I think the closest is Rene, the lap car, and Sandro. The lap car is surely going to have to let Sandro through eventually. I don't think he's close enough yet to do it, though. I'll tell you what we'll do whilst we're just sort of just watching everyone go around, we'll spectate Neek. Oh! Oh no! Oh no, that's Neek. That is Neek so far off track. That is final corner. That is a dodgy place to be there. Luckily he didn't get stuck in the gravel. That's lost him major time. It's now under 10 seconds to Cameron. So Neek, something went wrong there. That is absolutely insane. What a shame for Neek, but he's still in the lead. I don't think he's got damage. He just needs to. That mistake should wake him up, and he should not make those mistakes again. Okay, so I'm blind. Sandro actually sent me all the people. So NLG's actually Jim. Dennis is Dennis. I knew that. And Epic Animal was Logan. Yeah, so I was kind of right. Sort of. I wasn't great either, but yeah. So, some people I'm just automatically knew off their gamer tags. So yeah. Oh, that's Jim around then. That is Jim around. He just want to get in the way of Jensen. Jensen, don't go off track because that's where Jim is. That's a bit heavy, but he manages to clear the lap car. So now Sandro has got no one between him and Rene, so now he needs to just concentrate on catching down Rene and taking that P4 because Jensen's catching him down. And that's someone else who's retired. I think that was Dennis, sir. Yeah, that was Dennis because he's gone now. So Dennis out of this race then. P9 for Dennis. P10 for Logan. I think I was, yeah, Logan. So, massive shame for them. But yeah, the championship standings, as of right now, stand at Jensen Randall with 37 points in the lead, Sandro Dulius in second with 28 points, Cameron Weston Edwards in third with 25 points. So Cameron Weston Edwards is massively in the fight to take P2 from Sandro here. Then we have Dion Stoll in P4. Oh, that sneak going wide a bit there. He doesn't want to do that. Don't want to lose too much time to Cameron. We have Jeremy Pope in P5, Samuel Brandt P6, Funs Van Houten in P7. Damn, Funs is actually ahead of me in the championship. I did not even realise that. Fair play. P8 is Max Mulder. P9 is Nick Van Gelder. P10 is Logan. P11 is Rene van der Stapp. P12 is Lance LeBron, who sadly couldn't join us today. P13 is Jim. P14 is me with no points. I'm the highest non-points finisher. P15 is Victor. P16 is Rob Small. And P17 is Jurem Marusic. So yeah, that is the championship standings as of right now. My maths is so bad I'm not even going to bother trying to work out where everyone will be after this race. From what the positions are as of right now, and it might not finish like that. So Max saying he loves that flying cam. Yeah, it's pretty good. Should we go on board with Neek a bit, because we haven't had any on boards yet. Not that one, roof. There we go. I always think on board, so I click that one. I mean roof. That's the one I need. So Neek always runs copycat, and this is what he can see. Pretty sketchy to say the least. I almost did it again. Oh my god. Okay, so Cameron's wipers are on like highest they can go, and Neeks isn't. I think it's cleared up a bit. Sam's wipers are just not on. I'm pretty sure this is a camera angle Sam runs though, so that's understandable why they're not on, but yeah, it's quite funny. Oh, Rene going a bit wide there. Is Sandro close to it? Sandro's pretty close. Jensen's a bit down the road from him. Dion and P7. So yeah, the closest battles at the moment is Sandro and Rene for P4. Sandro needs to overtake Rene, really. Like I said, he needs to outscore Jensen as much as possible, because Jensen's got a bit of a gap to him in the championship, so he needs to close that down. Really, this is the day Sandro needed to win, but Sandro showing that he is only human, and it is very difficult to run these conditions. You can see the puddle there, and they're avoiding it because they sort of don't go as wide as you can. In the dry you can go much wider than that, but yeah, that's interesting to say the least. Oh man, he's gone massively wide. I was so sad. There's a puddle there. That's why they keep avoiding the inside apex, because there's a puddle there, so they're taking a wet line. That's where the grip is. I didn't realise that on trackside, so this is why it's always good to go on board sometimes. I mean, I did it on qualifying, but it's a bit different conditions and probably different puddles in different areas now. Once you do, like, I'd say like 4 or 5 laps, you sort of get used to where the puddles are, and you automatically take the wet lines. Sandra's done an incredible job this lap to catch up to Rene. We're going to stay on board with these guys because we haven't had any on-board action so far this race. So could we see some battling between the two? Rene taking a wide wet line there. It's so weird to see the different lines that they're taking. That was a pretty similar line through there, really. Pretty much the exact same. But the entrance to that final corner, it was like they were taking different lines, so it's interesting to see whose was better. I think Sandra's in that case was a bit better. He's caught down a massive amount. He's only 6/10 behind Rene. I think it's going to be about whoever can keep on track more here, which at the moment it's looking like Sandro. Sandro's finding later braking points here. I don't know if that's going to be a mistake or pulled off. I think it's pulled off. Yeah, look at that puddle. He sort of goes to the inside to avoid the puddle, and that's fair enough. But Rene seemed to go a bit wider and just take a bit of a better exit out of that corner there, and that's helped him massively. So Rene's found a very nice line through there, which is interesting to say the least. Again, there's a puddle there. You don't want to hit that. They do a very nice job of avoiding it. It's very fun to watch this and see all the puddles there, and watch the drivers having to navigate themselves around it whilst taking it with high speed. As we come to 42 minutes to go. Still got plenty of time to go yet. Meanwhile, I think he's backed off a bit here, as Sandro. He was doing a very good job then of catching down Rene, but he's sort of backed off now. Rene's picked up the pace somewhere. Oh, that is Dion in the pits then. So Dion is in the pits. Probably splash of fuel and maybe a tire change. I didn't quite see that, so I apologise about that. But yeah, Dion style. First person to pit this race. Don't know if it's a one stop or not, but about now is when the pits. Oh no, there's a puddle right there. There's a fatty puddle right there on the exit of the pit lane. That's mean. That is mean, because you can't avoid it. It's destined for you to spin, because it's like it's there and you can't cross the white line. I know if you do cross the white line once, you get a warning. I think it might just be best to just pick up the warning, or maybe even the penalty, because it might just be easier just getting a slow down penalty and slowing down a bit, then spinning completely. So that's interesting. Portimao on Portugal's 2, a bit broken to say the least, which is a bit of a shame because that's not very fair for the drivers. I mean, just a massive puddle just sat there on the exit of the pit lane. Sandro right on the tail of Rene. He's done a very good job to catch up. I don't know if Rene made any mistakes there whilst we were spectating Dion. But I can tell you for one thing, whoever manages to not spin out that pit lane is going to have an incredible advantage. You just see the spray coming off the back. Oh, Sandro, do not hit that puddle. Oh, I saw him going towards it and he hit it. Oh, we got another person in the pits. Let's see this then. Will he spin? Will he hit that puddle? We're going to stay on board this time. Oh, Cameron's in the pits. Okay, we'll watch Jim first. Wait, why did he stop? Oh, no, that's for Cameron's pits. Sam's pitted. They all get into the pits safely. Okay, Jim. Will Jim realise about this puddle? It's going to be interesting. I think they all go in parties together, so Dion's probably let them know about the puddle. There it is. Yeah, he backs off. He backs off. He still spins though. That puddle is lethal. This is going to be funny as hell to see. So they do get a splash of fuel. They do get new tyres. Sam actually gets a better stop there. So Sam's actually going to jump Cameron Weston Edwards. The question is will Sam be able to survive? We have another retirement. I didn't see who that was then. Sam has to really watch out then. Here comes Sam down the start. From a straight. Will he hit the puddle? He hits the puddle. That is the first person I've seen to survive that puddle. So Sam's okay. How about Cameron? Cameron avoid the puddle. Cameron hits the puddle. He loses massive time, but luckily he doesn't spin. So yeah, something with Cameron has cost him P2, which is a massive shame. Sandro to P4 then. Oh, it was Rene who disconnected. Rene's disconnected. There we go. Sandro avoid that puddle. He hit it, but he survives. How about Jensen? This puddle's so weird to watch. Jensen hit that. Oh, that is the smoothest one I've seen so far. Fair play to Jensen for not running into a problem with that. Oh, and this is interesting. Sandro's only just up the road, so Jensen and Sandro add it. The 2 championship leaders then. Oh, that's Cameron going wide there. That's not ideal, but Sam will be very happy with that though, that he managed to somehow get a better stop. I don't know if it was damage or more fuel Cameron had to add in. That might have been a practice problem. See, I don't know if Cameron practiced, but if Cameron didn't practice and he put in way too much fuel, that's cost him dearly. Because not only is he gonna, well, not only has he just lost track position in the pits because he's got way too much fuel, but now he's going to be a bit slower because Sam's got a lighter car. So Nick, who I think is still yet to pit as well. Jim is back in the pits. So weird looking at the pits. It's just insane. How do you survive that? Fair play to all the drivers that managed to not spin there, but I think they may have got an assist from Dion there because obviously they're all in the same party. Jim's not in the same party though, I know that. But Nick, Sam, Cameron, Sandro, Jensen and Dion, I'm pretty sure are all in the same party, and Rene was in the same party as well. So I think Dion, by pitting earlier and spinning and telling them about that puddle on the exit, has helped them a massive amount. So everyone give a round of applause to Dion, the hero that everyone needed in that time. What about... Yeah, see, Jim has spun again because of that puddle. It's so difficult. Like, oh, who was that? Oh, that was Jensen getting past Mr. Jim. I'll go back on there. Trackside camera. Yeah, for whatever reason I'm not getting comments again, and I hate when this happens on streams. What's the gap P1 to P2? 1 minute. I think Nick's still yet to pit though, so. But this is good for Sam, because Sam's putting in some good laps and is actually catching down on those fresh set of tyres. So if Nick's pit is a bit slow, then Nick's in a very tasty. Sam's in a very tasty position for P1. See, this is Sam's time that he needs to push now and not make mistakes. One mistake could cost him dearly. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Rene, but that is a massive shame for him if he disconnected just because of internet problems or just disconnection issues with the game servers, because I know that has happened many times to people. The series momentarily moved to Gran Turismo for a little bit, but it then moved back to Portugal 2 when people decided that they wanted Portugal 2 over Gran Turismo. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Nick's in the pits. Nick's in the pits. This is where it gets interesting. So Nick's in the pits. Sam is about halfway through the lap. So the question is will Nick's pit stop be quick enough? He needs to get the exact right amount of fuel, change the tyres quick, and then get out on track. Will Sam take the lead of this race? That is the question we are all asking right now. I'm also intrigued to see if Nick manages to survive that god awful puddle on the exit, because that is torture to say the least. Okay, the gap's having a bit of issue. Nick still adding fuel, come on Nick. Oh, there we go. Low pops up, off Nick goes. Where's Sam 2? He's just coming up to the final corner now. I think Nick might be okay here. The real thing is will he be able to survive this puddle? We'll go on board with Nick. If I were him, I would just back off. Just back off. He doesn't back off, and it doesn't cost him. Somehow Nick has survived that puddle. I would say Jensen did it the best, but Nick did it, I would say, like, second best or one of the best. So Nick comes back out 15 seconds ahead of Samuel Brandt in the lead in that Audi. Fair play to Nick. Has nailed everything today, I would say. So he just needs to keep on pace and not make mistakes now for the next 32 minutes and 30 seconds. Can't forget about that 30 seconds. But yeah, I can't believe the game is that cruel to put a puddle when it's raining here right on the pit exit when you can't avoid it, because there's just, you can't go across the white line. You get a penalty or a warning. It might be a warning or it could be a penalty. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's just a penalty straight up though, because I remember Nick doing it in an IndyCar series we attempted once, where he just continuously got penalties for not taking the pit exit correctly at Long Beach. So Jensen going massively wide there. He is catching down Sandro though. It's about 5 seconds between him, between Sandro and Jensen, about 5 seconds. So we'll come back in a bit and see if that decreases. Between Nick and Sam is about 15.3 seconds. So Nick doing a very good job as he's about to lap Dion. I think the guy Max rooted for, said was Mazepin, called Mazepin, and said wasn't going to win and was going to lose, is currently just in the perfect position to take home the win. And listen to that engine roll. Very lovely. So yeah, Max, I think Nick's going to go and just absolutely mug us all off here and just show us the impossible, which I find quite amusing to say the least. Especially that, well, you know, but we all thought Nick was struggling. We thought Nick's gonna have problems. He was spinning many times in practice. He said it himself. And here he is, currently leading by 16 seconds, still pulling a gap to Sam in P2. And he's, from what I've seen, he's only made like one mistake, which was just going wide on the final corner. But he managed to keep it out the barrier and keep going, so he barely lost any time, so yeah. He's now on the back of Dion to lap Dion, who's currently in P6, so Dion might as well just keep going because he's, well, in a shout to get 1 point. He gets out of the way of Nick though. Fair play to Dion. I think it's got worse again. It sort of started dropping off, the rain, but it suddenly just got heavier again. So I think it's going to be like this till the end now, to say the least. And if it's not, I'll be shocked. What a race this has been though, honestly. We've had so many battles for a GT3 race where it's meant to just be staying consistent and basically people driving around on their own. We've had many battles. I mean, the second half is starting to turn into normal GT3 racing where it's just people just going around. But the start was just absolutely insane. Like, there was just so many battles. Almost called it battles then. I don't know what that's about. So the gap is coming down. It went up to about 6 seconds between Sandra and Jensen at the start of, well, when I last checked. It's now 4.6, so has gone down by about 2 seconds. So yeah, Jensen is slowly catching, but Sandra's doing a good job of keeping some consistent pace. I find with project cars too, once you lose the back end of the car and try and correct it, that's it, you're done. You're spinning, just accept it, because it's like you catch it and it just flings you the opposite way. So yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult if anyone goes into a spin. Dion, sadly, 57 seconds behind Jensen. Meanwhile, Jim is 5.30 minutes. Seconds? No, yeah, 5.30 minutes behind Dion, sadly, which is a massive shame, but I understand that position. I've been in it before. It's just pure bad luck and just run into a lot of bad luck, like I said, and problems, so I understand what it's like to be that. So can we appreciate Sam's actually cooled down Nick a bit? He was like 14 seconds, he's now down to 11.8, nearly 12. It looks like Nick's pulling it back out again, so never mind. Ignore what I just said. Cameron going very wide there. A few drivers we've seen go wide today. I mean, it doesn't benefit them in any way because the rules are on, so they get a slow down. They just have to slow down. Oh, Dion. Dion's got damage here. His rear, I could just see his rear has been smashed because there's like no lights and he's struggling with the steering, I think. I don't know what happened there for Dion. Has he got damage? Yeah, look, the bumper. The rear bumper. Just a bit, but I think it's affecting the steering because he's really struggling. I know that feeling on project cars too. He might have to pit at the end of this lap. The gap 3.8 to Sandra and Jensen now. So it's going down and down and down. Jensen pushing now. Really trying to become a world champion today. It's going to be very difficult to say the least though, because he'll have to try and catch down Cameron. I don't know if Jensen wins. is world champion if he gets Sandro. I'll see if I can find out, because I'm pretty sure Jensen will be champion if he beats Sandro. I'm hoping the point system is the exact same as... Oh yeah, so 8th gets 1 point. So everyone here right now will get 1 point. Yeah, Dion dives into the pits. Okay, so at the moment, Sandro will get 5 points, Jensen will get 4. So even if Jensen gets past Sandro, then he still won't win the championship today. Unless I'm wrong and the points are different, but that's from what I see. Oh, we've got more people coming out. Oh, it's Jim's pit crew. So yeah, Dion and Jim have had an absolute shocker of a day, to say the least. Sandro's starting to break now, make mistakes. Just to help his chances, because Jensen is just pushing that lead down to within 3 seconds now. Almost 2 seconds, and it is... Oh, not quite. Luckily, Mr. Sandro has decided to pull out a bit of a gap there to keep it out of the 2 second mark. But it looks like Jensen's not going to let it slide. It must be so frustrating for Jensen to make those mistakes when he could have been like world champion today. All he had to do was just beat Sandro Dulius by an extra position. So say if Sandro come third, Jensen come first, Jensen is world champion. But sadly, I don't think that's going to happen today. When I heard they were going to add Portimao to the calendar in SRL, I did not fit. Oh no! That's Sandro hitting the puddle, spinning around. That is Jensen taking P4. I knew that was going to happen. I saw him heading for that puddle, and that has cost him massively. Down to P5 for Sandro. I mean, Jensen up to P4. So Jensen now, he needs to somehow get Cameron Weston Edwards if he wants to win today, but at the moment that's not looking very likely. Jim spinning on the pit lane exit once again. It's a massive struggle, that pit lane exit. Like, honestly, I don't know why the game is that cruel to put it there like that. Jim spinning around once again. He's not had a great day. A lot of these drivers are really struggling, especially when the tyres go off, so just a massive shame. But Jensen really fighting nicely. I think I think they'll have to take the championship decider to Fuji, I have a feeling. Oh, look at this, I did not even realise this, but Cameron's called down Sam very nicely. So we have a battle for P2 now, so this is going to be the first battle we've had for quite a while. Cameron, don't hit that puddle. I was about to say, if Cameron hit that puddle, then I would have actually physically cringed after just watching Sandro also hit it. That is just so unfortunate. Well, I was right about the puddle for the pit lane exit. After Dion hit it and spun for the first time, he warned everyone about it and no one else did it except Jim, but Jim isn't usually in those parties, so unless he was and just generally still spun anyway. It's difficult, even when you know it's there, it's difficult because you can lift off like we saw Sam do, I think, and he still almost spun it, and it's just, yeah. It's just about luck how you hit it, really. If you hit it no throttle, perfect angle, you can survive. Just like we saw Jensen do. And Nick. We saw everyone do it, really, except Jim and Dion. Apologies about that coughing. Cameron all over the back of Samuel Brandt though, as we're about to hit 20 minutes to go of SRL GT3 Portimao International Race. The question is will it end like this, or will Cameron Weston Edwards get Samuel Brandt? Will Nick manage to keep his pace going and take home a nice, I would like to say easy, but even though he's been in the lead the whole race and just surviving, not easy. Like, this would be a well deserved win for whoever wins this, and a massive fight win. I do feel sorry for a lot of the people that retired. I would say especially Rene, because he was in a very good position and so he just disconnected. Like I said, I don't know why. I don't know, because of disconnection issues or just retired because of a crash or anything. But yeah, massive shame for him. Battled very nice at the beginning with Sandro, Jensen, and Dennis, I think it was. So yeah, but Cameron all over the back of Samuel Brandt. One mistake from Samuel Brandt and that'll be Cameron ahead of him into P2. Obviously, Samuel Brandt jumped Cameron after a pit stop, so Samuel Brandt really needs to try and defend this one as Cameron Weston Edwards goes down the inside. They touch a little bit. They're trying to avoid the puddle. That's why Cameron was pushing Samuel Brandt out wide. And past goes Cameron Weston Edwards. I mean, I don't blame him. He was trying to push Samuel a bit wider because he just didn't want to hit that puddle. You hit that puddle, you're spinning. And we could see it, he could see it, everyone could see it. So, but he gets around Samuel Brandt nevertheless. Can Samuel Brandt try and make time back and re-overtake him though? That's a question as Cameron goes wide there. Takes a bit of a wet line. Can Sam get a nice exit? Takes it a bit tight there, which minimises his exit speed, which isn't ideal for him. Cameron really showing how talented and skilled he is in the wet right now, and just showing how much he had to fight for a podium. Obviously at the beginning he was like behind Sandro and Rene and all that, and fought past them, caught up to Sam, overtook Sam. Sam re-overtook him in the pits, and then now Cameron has re-overtaken Sam once again to claim P2. So Cameron, another one who's at the moment on target to get a well-deserved podium and result. So yeah, this has been an incredible race to say the least. I definitely recommend everyone liking the stream and following SRL on Instagram and hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, as we're just about to hit 15 minutes to go, or a quarter of an hour to go. We're getting to the end stage of the race now. I definitely think it's hard to commentate sometimes on GT3 races, because like sometimes there's just cars going around and doing consistent lap times and stuff like that, so it's hard to commentate sometimes, but I'm trying my best. Just we'll go on board actually a bit with Nick and a few others. I've done it again. So Nick with his windscreen wipers still on medium. What about Cameron's? What's his on? Cameron's on full. So oh, Sam's finally got his on. I don't know if he's like listened to the stream or what and just heard me like saying about how he hasn't got it on, but he's now got him on. So Jensen's still got his on. driving around nicely ahead of Sandro in P5. Sandro got his on. De Jong. Oh, sliding a bit there. That puddle, that is such a weird puddle. It comes up so far. You have to stay so far on the left-hand side, on the inside, as possible, then try and tuck out wide. That's a difficult one, not gonna lie. You could just hear the lock up on Sam. It's just, yeah, that is a massive puddle. You don't want to hit that. I didn't even see that from trackside. Sam trying to chase down Cameron Weston Edwards. Yeah, there's another massive puddle just on the inside apex. It's very difficult to navigate around this track. Nick so far ahead of Cameron, 21 seconds, so that battle between Sam and Cameron has affected them a bit because they've dropped off. They were like 15 seconds, they're now 21, so yeah, Nick really got some really good consistent pace here. I wonder if Cameron could close up a little bit though. Alright, let's go on board with a lap of Nick and try and commentate this end. So run up towards the start finish line. Obviously in F1 you'd have DRS there, but cross the line in GT3 down the downhill section towards turn 1, very difficult corner to try and not lock up and go off wide. Nick hits it very nicely, runs the outside apex nicely as well. Up towards turn 3, you don't want to hit that curb there, Nick, and he does that very nicely. Tuck out wide. Interesting. Oh no, Nick, that's risky. That's risky, Nick. You don't want to be hitting that. Mazepin win. Mazda win. New name. Yeah. Max, let's not jinx it. Let's not jinx it, right? Oh, Cameron going so far off track there. So does Sam. Right, let's spectate Jensen. On a lap of Jensen. Across the line back then. Down towards turn 1. Got to try and take it with speed, but avoid the puddles throughout this lap. Goes a bit wide there, which isn't ideal. Down towards turn 3. Let's see if he can avoid the mistake Nick did and not hit this puddle. Nicely does it by Jensen Randall. Down towards the second straight. Mazda spin again, haha. Max has commented. Down towards a very difficult turn 5. When I take out wide, avoid that puddle. Does that very nicely. Jensen catching down massively on Sam there, but I don't think he has enough time to do anything. Through to this uphill section, he's going to get a bit of dirty air from the lap car here of Jim, but it's not going to be too bad. Run up towards the final sector then. This is where it's really challenging and probably going to be some massive puddles. Look at that inside. Look at that puddle on the inside. What's that about then? Through down here, the lap car gets massively out of the way there. Hopefully he doesn't turn back in on Jensen. Nah, he stays out of the way. Coming in nicely. Tuck in tight. There's no puddle there. This is where the puddle is. Just on the right hand side there on the inside. So you really want to avoid that. It's so much easier seeing the puddle from spectating. But around the final corner then. And there is a lap on board with Jensen Randall in the GT3 Mercedes as he finishes his lap. There we go. We'll go back on board with Nick. Oh, Sam's got some sort of warning. Oh, Sam's just also hit that. You don't want to be hitting that. That is lethal, that puddle. That just shows what happens when you hit a puddle on Project Cars 2. There's no way of saving it. It's just, oh, Sam broke way too late there. Nope, never mind. He saved it. Sam late on the brakes there. Very nicely. 10 seconds separates the gap from Jensen and Sam. Wonder if Jensen has anything for that. 10 minutes to go. So need about like a second a minute if he wants to have a go. It's going to be pretty pretty rapid to say the least if he's going to pull that off. So the gap's obviously closed down massively from Cameron to Nick because Nick spun. Should we try that again, Nick? Let's try it again. Let's try and not spin this time, Nick, okay? So, around the final corner for a lap around Portimao in the GT3 Audi car of Nick Van Gelder. Cross the line now, run down towards turn 1. Will he use the outside apex? He doesn't, he avoids it. That's a slippery part of the track. I mean, it's probably not best to use it. He uses the outside though of that one. Up towards turn 3. Try and keep it nicely. Avoid the puddle, Nick. Avoid the puddle. Yes. No. No. Nearly. Close enough. Onto the second straight then. Down towards the hairpin section. You want to avoid the inside puddle here. I like how Nick's making all the mistakes now. I'm spectating him. What's this about? He made none throughout this whole race, and now he is. Like, I would like to know what that's about. Max is asking, how is Mazepin leading? Nick, you have got a bit of an enemy here by the name of Max calling you Mazepin. We'll come back to you, Nick. We'll try again with you. We'll try again next lap, alright? But if you spin again, that's the last chance you'll get. This is the last chance you'll get, alright, Nick? I can't believe Nick, honestly. He's such a cheeky legend, really. But he always, like, I don't get how he makes every mistake whilst I'm spectating it. But when I'm just not spectating him, he's perfectly fine. And doing nice, consistent laps is unbelievable. I kind of feel bad for spectating him now because he clearly like, I'm clearly commentating cursing this or something. But come on, Nick, this is it. This is a lap we all want. This is what we want, Nick. Do not mess us up around the final corner for Nick. Run up towards the line. Crosses the line now. Run through the straight. Obviously no DRS or ERS or anything like that. Just pure Audi horsepower. Through turn 1. Here's the outside apex there a bit, which is kind of knocked him offline a bit there, but shouldn't affect him too much. Down towards turn 3 once again. This is it, Nick. This is your moment of truth. Do not hit this puddle. You hit this puddle, I'm giving up. That's more like it, Nick. That is better. Look at that. Absolute speed by Nick Van Gelder. Down the second straight. Down towards the hairpin. For Nick. Avoid this puddle here. But super late there. It looks like he's not going to slow down in time, but he just does. Nick, one of the last of the leg breakers, once again up towards this very fast 2 right-handers, and then up the hill we go once again. Nick goes wide. Oh, he's bottled it. He's bottled it again, Max. He's bottled it again. Max says, I told Nick to get 0 points so I can win from him this season, but now I need to win also. Nick, you're literally... Nick's a literal bottle king when I'm spectating him. Like, if he's generally been driving like this the whole race and I've just not realised, and he's still leading, I'm wondering how. Like, how? The gap between Cameron and Sam is staying about 2 seconds, so the same. Oh, we've got Jim back in the pits. The question is will we spin on the puddle again? I'm really not liking that puddle on the exit of the pit lane. I think it's super unfair and they should fix it, but let's be honest, it's probably been in the game since day 1, so are they really going to fix it by now? Probably not. Let's just say that. I want to spectate Jim, but there's a battle raging on for P2. Jim, you coming out of the pits? Come on, man. Sam, stay in the slipstream. his crew's just sort of sat there, and I'm kind of wondering what's going on. Go trackside. Yeah, so no battles as of right now. Dion's just rolling around in P6. Sandra's rolling around in P5. Jensen's running around P4. Sam's rolling around in P3. Sort of staying with Cameron, but Cameron's rolling around P2. Nick's rolling around in P1. Nicely does it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right, come on. Come on, Jim. Just avoid that puddle. I mean, just pick up a warning for all I care as well. Like, just cross the white line. Like, it'll avoid. Like, he's literally going so slow. Oh no, this is even worse. He's nearly stopped on it. But he survives. He survives. Thank you, game, for just letting him survive. For God's sake, that's what we wanted to see. Thank you, Portimao, for once being good. I think it's ridiculous though, that puddle. Honestly. To be fair, I'll give fair play to every driver here. They managed to survive this race and did pretty well. And if not the race, qualifying as well. Just as heavy rain. Everyone managed to work their way around the track nicely to set a lap time, and a pretty decent lap time. Jensen's been catching down Sam very nicely here. It's pretty close. Let's just say if Sam spins, Jensen will take that P3. So, and then he will be world champion. So, basically, Cameron and Sam really need to watch out here. Jensen's doing everything he needs to do. Cameron, massive tank slapper by hitting the puddle there. Luckily, keeps out of trouble. Jensen 5 seconds behind. Jensen can see his prey just up ahead as he is chasing down the Lamborghini and the Audi of Cameron and Sam. This will be an intense finish if Jensen manages to catch up to the back just before the end. 3 minutes to go. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of ruining Jensen right now. This has been a heroic drive from the Mercedes driver. Absolutely heroic drive. So if he manages to pull off some miracle and overtake Sam or Cameron to win the championship here, that will be absolutely mental. Samuel Brand all over the back of Cameron. This is not over. Nothing is over for P2 here. This has just got spicy all of a sudden. Like major spice with a kick of salt, I guess. I don't know, something like that. But nevertheless, Sam all over the back of Cameron. Sam needs to just push to the absolute limit now. He just needs to get his P2. He's not going to get the championship. He just needs to just get a good result now. That should be his aim. So come on, Sam. Absolute speed now. Look at Jensen. Jensen is in. You can see him in the back. Oh, this is going to be so agonisingly close for Jensen, I think. And I don't think he's going to get it, but it's going to be a massive shame because he's really fought back nicely. Maybe, probably 5 more minutes, add on the clock, and he would be in there. Oh, that's a bumper. That's a bumper on the inside there. I saw that. I think that might be Jim's. Who again, he's just had a super unfortunate race and no fault of its own. I mean, it's so difficult driving these cars around Project Cars 3, Project Cars 2 I should say, around any track, and just add the wet to it. It's just twice as hard, especially in Portimao. So, yeah, I can't say anything about that one. Look at Jensen pushing to the absolute limit here, but I think he's going to run out of time, sadly. I think he might get one more lap, depending on if Nick finishes before. Where's Nick to? I don't know. Will Nick get to the line before? If Nick gets to the line, I think Jensen could have a shout. Because Jensen is absolutely rapid pace right now. I'm sorry, I need to just watch Jensen. This is a heroic drive right here. This is a man who's on a mission to win the championship today. Not next week, not the week after. I don't know when the Fuji is, I apologise. Not in Fuji, he wants to win it today. And there is going to be one extra lap. Jensen's at the P3. Cameron's gone wrong, Cameron spun. Jensen is on target to win the championship. I cannot believe this. Jensen has done it. Well, I don't want to jinx anything yet, because this is it. This is time over. This is final lap. Nick's on final lap. Sam's on final lap. All Jensen has to do is just finish the race here, and then he wins the championship. This is it. Will Jensen Randall keep this final lap just sensible? He doesn't need to worry about getting P2. He doesn't need to worry about anything else. He just needs to just take it easy, come home, and finish P3. That is all. And Samuel Brand is back up to P2, so he'll be very happy with that result. I cannot believe what I've just witnessed here, and the race I am commentating here. It is all kicked off right at the end of the race, and I know Jensen in real life, like I said personally, and he is not a guy who will back off. He will go for Sam as well. He will try to get P2 and dominate Sandro in this championship. So this is going to be insane, to say the least, on this final lap around the soaking wet Portimao Grand Prix, or GT3 race. Will Sam goes defensive. We got to give Nick credit though today. Nick is the man who's going to come home with the win. I'm sort of just flicking between both just in case Jensen sends it down the inside. I don't think Jensen's going to do it on this race though, but Nick coming around the final corner, Nick Van Gelder is going to come home and take an incredible P1 in Portimao in the GT3 race, his first race win of the season, and well deserved for him. But I think the man we all need to be watching today, right now, is world champion Mr. Jensen Randall in the Mercedes. Absolutely heroic drive. After spinning a couple times at the beginning, he comes home and takes the championship win here in Portimao. What a race. If that doesn't deserve, if that doesn't get you to like and subscribe to SRL, I don't know what will. We've had an incredible battle between Cameron Weston Edwards and Jensen Randall in Nürburgring, with the finishing being about 3 thousandths between each other. And now we have Jensen Randall picking it up on the final lap of the race to become world champion of the SRL GT3 series. I don't think that could have been a better race. Even if I tried, like, even if everyone tried. What a race. Everyone is celebrating with seeing crashes. Whew, God. That was insane. Dion, sadly, an unfortunate race. Same with Jim. But they'll come home to pick up some points. But Jensen Randall, your podium sitter, but more importantly, the championship winner. What a race. I cannot believe... Oh my God. I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. We'll try and get Jensen Randall in the party as soon as possible to interview him. We'll try and get the top 3 in the party as well, if I can, because that is just an insane drive. So we need Jensen, we need Nick, and we need Sam. We'll add these guys to it, try and get them in the party to get an interview going here. But what a race. Nick Van Gelder, P1, P2 is Samuel Brandt, P3 is Jensen Randall taking the championship win here in Portimao, P4 is Cameron Weston Edwards, P5 is Sandra Julius, P16 on Stahl, P7 is Jim, P8 is Rene, P9 is Logan, I think, and P10... No, P9 is Dennis, P10 is Logan, I'm pretty sure. But here we are joined by championship winner Jensen Randall. So Jensen, how does that one feel then?
Oh, that was not easy at all. I'd say definitely one of my most satisfying comeback drives in a while, to be honest. Yeah, of course, qualifying wasn't too well. I'd say it was alright, P2, but off the start, Neek and I think Dion as well both had really good starts and got me, and then made a load of mistakes. I was about 50 seconds down the road at one point. But the second stint of new tyres just really worked for me. I was literally lapping 53s every lap, which is basically some people's fastest laps in the race, so that was pretty crazy. And saw Cameron spinning, I was like, I think that is it, pretty much. But I was thinking I may have still had it, even if he didn't spin, because got really close to Sam in the end, but completely messed up on the final lap when I got close to him. So still a good race from him, and of course Neek, who won. But yeah, pretty happy.
I mean, yeah, I was watching that race and I could not believe my eyes when I saw you catching down Sam and Cameron. I was like, is Jensen really going to have a chance to win the championship here today? And I genuinely couldn't believe it when I saw Cameron spinning. I was like, no way, he's won it. He's won it. So, massive congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for commentary today as well.
Yeah, man, really enjoyed that one. But, have we got Neek in the party?
Sam.
We've got Sam. So P2 man, Samuel Brandt. How did you find that one then?
That was enjoyable, I must say. I was quite skeptical going into the race when I saw it was raining quite heavily, but already in qualifying, me and Logan, we discovered pretty quickly that the Lambo was quite rapid, actually. And yeah, in the race, I mean, I just kept my nose clean pretty much. Avoided mostly spinning. I didn't face the wrong way. I did have some moments every now and then where I got caught out by some puddles, but apart from that, it was just a clean race and capitalizing on people's mistake around me.
Yeah, I mean, you did a very good job today. I mean, that start from you was incredible, and you had some incredible battles today. And I don't know how you jumped Cameron in the pits, but that was very well done.
Well, it was down to the fact that I wasn't refueling. Cameron was doing a little bit of fuel. I only swapped for tyres.
Ah, right, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, nevertheless, incredible job, mate. Honestly, that was well deserved.
Well, thank you, and congratulations to Jensen on the championship as well, and to Neek on the victory today.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get Neek in. I did invite him, so we'll just have to see if he joins in.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll have to leave, but good race, and yeah, good to finally be back on the podium.
Yeah, man. Congratulations again.
Thanks.
What's it, I'll quickly try and see if he's still in the other party.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, so yeah, we'll just wait, guys, whilst we try and get Neek and in the party, and we'll interview him then, the race winner. And he definitely deserves to be interviewed today, so I want to try and wait for him to get in here and interview him and see his point of view of the race. So yeah, honestly, I could not believe today's race. So what a race to commentate, honestly. Like, I couldn't believe it. That finish was just absolutely insane. So absolutely well done to everyone. Like, to survive that race, it was so difficult. It looked so difficult out there, and I could just see all the puddles. So, and here he is, Mr. Neek van Gelder, race winner of Portimao. So how did you find that one then, Neek?
Oh yeah, I mean, that was a really long race, and I was definitely not expecting to challenge for the win actually beforehand, but yeah, I mean, I was pretty surprised. Already the pace in qualifying was pretty alright. I qualified in 3rd place, but still I was quite a long way behind Logan. And then at the race start, I think I was still in 3rd after the first lap behind Logan and Jensen, but I think I managed to overtake Jensen in the 2nd sector, and then I started to chase after Logan, and he actually made a mistake in front of me and spun the car at the start of the final sector, and that actually gifted me the lead. And at that point I was like, oh my god, this is the first time I'm leading since like Zolder last season. And I definitely didn't expect to actually stay there for the entire race, but yeah, the pace was actually pretty good. I was really, in tune with the car on the track, and I actually felt really comfortable. Because yesterday in practice, I was actually struggling quite a bit with, spins and crashes, and this is a pretty challenging track, especially on extra turn 3, and also with the elevation changes. It's very easy to lose the car and lose the back end. But in the rain, it was actually a little bit easier because I was able to slide around a lot more, and just the traction losses were a lot smoother, and it was actually easier to catch the car in the rain and in the dry. So I actually felt really confident, and I was able to just push them at 100% for nearly the entire race. I did make a few mistakes, and the puddles were really difficult to navigate your way around it, because at some corners, like on the run up towards turn 3, there was a puddle basically across the entire track. So you had to go through it, and it was really difficult to not lose the car there. But yeah, I mean, just being in the lead, I mean, it was still actually pretty stressful at times, because I had a few moments where I nearly crashed, like in the final corner. I had a massive moment when I hit the puddle on the inside and almost overcorrected into the wall. And, it wasn't as easy as it might have looked, because, I still had to just keep pushing it 100% and without making mistakes. But, in the end, to cross the line and finally win a race again since all the last year after such a disappointing start to this season as well it's just great. I mean, it really means a lot to me.
I mean, yeah, throughout the race, I did try and spectate you a couple times to do a lap, and every time I spectated you, you either spun or messed up massively. So, yeah. But in the chat actually, we've had Max support you on for like the whole race, and
okay.
I'll just read some of the things he said. Oh my god, Mazepin won. Mazepin new name. Mazepin new name, I mean. Woohoo, Mazepin. Mazepin legend. Woohoo, big fan of Nick Mazepin. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's because of yesterday, because I was really struggling in practice, and I had like 20 spins and crashes yesterday in the dry. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I still had a few spins today, but I guess the pace was good enough to make up for that, and also the other drivers had few incidents, I think, and it's nearly impossible to do an entire race distance of 1.5 hours spinning with all these puddles and with the track being wet. It's so difficult, but yeah, it worked out in the end, and I just managed to keep the gap above 10 seconds for nearly the entire race, and yeah, I was relatively safe for the majority of the race, especially in the final like 3/4 of it, but yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't easy. And also with the pit stops, I mean, the tires in the first stint, especially with the high fuel, the tires were wearing out pretty quickly. And I wasn't sure if like there were a few drivers that were going to go to the end, because it is possible with one fuel tank. But then I saw that Samuel and Jensen pitted as well, so I was like, okay, I've got a 1 minute lead now. I'm not gonna try and risk it and go to the end. I could just pit and still be in the lead. And so I just did that, and I was still in the lead by like 17 seconds. So yeah, it worked out at the end, and yeah, it's great to finally win the race again, and also in the championship it's gonna help me a lot, because I think I'm now up into 5th, and I was 9th before this race. So yeah, things are looking up finally after a really tough start, because in Daytona I felt like I had really good pace as well, but I just completely lost my head and had so many crashes. And in Imola I crashed as well and drove the entire race with damage, and in Spa I completely messed it up. And every time in races, especially on Porsche cars, whenever I just have a crash, I just completely lose it. And when I make one mistake, or when I am down the order, I try to just push too hard to make up for it and then crash again. And today I finally had a race again where I didn't have to like overdrive the car, and where I just kept concentrated and didn't lose my head. So I was so frustrated after Daytona and Spa, because I felt like I could challenge for the win there, but finally I was able to challenge for the win here and actually win the race.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, congrats, man. Honestly, it definitely didn't look easy out there, and I was like, damn, I'm glad I'm on this one, because everyone was just like struggling. But yeah, it looks like you've still got more fans in the chat. Neek Driver of the Year, Neek Goat. Better than Hamilton confirmed. So yeah, you got some fans.
Oh well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, congrats, man. Definitely well deserved win. So
Thank you,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks a lot, and also thanks for having me in the post-race interviews here.
yeah, that is
And,
okay.
I look forward to watching the race back as well, to see what happened
Yeah.
behind me, because I'm not very aware of what happened behind me. I was just focused on my own race and yeah, didn't care about anything behind me.
Oh,
So I'll
well.
watch it back to see what happened.
Yeah, well, you're in for a real treat. Let's just say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll look forward to that then.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'd like to thank everyone for viewing and everyone that's been active throughout the chat. So, next time we'll be in Vietnam, I'm pretty sure, for F1. I could be wrong. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, Vietnam, and then it's Fuji, I'm pretty sure, for GT3, which
Yeah.
is the finale, I think. Yeah. So, we're going to leave this one here. We will catch you all in Vietnam for F1, and we'll see you in the next one.